Continuing off what I left off at part one. This is part two of the sit down lesson because the video recording had cut off. So continuing on with part two of the sit down lesson of prophecy updates as of October the 23rd, 2024, on this Wednesday afternoon. So bring out some scriptures. This is the book of Luke 21. It's the book of Luke 21, verse 25, and it reads, "And there shall be signs in the sun and the moon." And it says, "There shall be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars upon the earth. The distress of nations will perplex and seas rage and ruin." Right, that's what we're seeing. Seditions, uprises among the nations. Distress of nations will perplex and seas rage and ruin. That's what we're seeing. And this is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, and verse 14. Woe to the world, W-O-E was a great distress. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. 2nd Esdras 15, verse 15. For the sword that destruction draweth nigh, and one people should stand up and fight against another with swords in hands. Right, as we're seeing among the nations. That's increasing seditions and uprisings and uproars of people in the world. Just like it says in 2nd Esdras 9, verse 3. It says to fight against one another with swords in hands. We know the modern day sword is a weapon. 2nd Esdras 15, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men. But you had that incident that happened over there in Turkey. Some type of some type of defense aerospace area. You had workers that's working over there in that area, and you had two guys had like assault rifles. Explosions were heard. I believe it was like 5 people were killed on the scene and dozens were injured. So that's seditions among men hating one another. And they should not regard their kings nor their princes. And of course, their action, right? That's what we're seeing with the great sedition among the citizens going against their leaders in power. We're seeing that as well, too. Citizens clashing against one another, and they're going against their leaders in power. And of course, their actions stand in power. And that's what we're seeing. And that continue to increasing lead up to the great seditions and uprises. The distress of nations will perplex and seas rage warring. And it cause lawlessness, iniquities, and heavy judgments. That's what we definitely been seeing. 2nd Esdras 15, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, hating one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes, and of course the actions shall stand in power. And this is the book of Joel, chapter 3. This is the prophet Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Right, Iran versus Israel. Hezbollah versus the IDF. What's taking place over there in the Red Sea. Great Britain and the United States armies going against the Houthi rebels, which is an Iranian-backed group. So they target each other. Those are examples of wars and rumors of wars. Nation against nation. Kingdom against kingdom. As you continue to see, the Heavenly Father put that warlike mindset. He's waking up the army men of these nations, especially over there in Western Asia, throughout that whole region. Joel chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Right, that's what we're seeing, the nations being gathered up over there in the Valley of Jehoshaphat of Western Asia, Yahweh's decision. Joel chapter 3, verse 10. Beat your plowshares and the swords and the plenty hooks at the spears and let the weak say I'm strong. Right. Just like many times the Israel Defense Force pound and destroy one of their top leaders, those pro-Iranian groups and proxy groups that's going against the Israel Defense Force, they never back down. They keep on pushing forth, going against them. And that's an example of let the weak say I'm strong. They're going to continue building up their nuclear capability. They're going to continue rising up against their adversaries, and that's what we're seeing. And beat your plowshares and the swords and the plenty hooks and let the weak say I'm strong. Now let's get back into the more news articles. Oh, that was an old news article. Salakia. There are certain things you can do in a house Right, let me go over these news articles once again because I had went over part one of this sit down lesson, so I had to you know continue on with part two because the video recorder had cut short. I don't know why it does that. So read these again. Turkey hits PKK targets in northern Iraq and Syria after a deadly attack in Ankara. Right, because we've been seeing rising tensions been heating up between the YPG and the PKK, which is a pro-Kurdistan group going against the Turkish arms, which they've been battling each other ever since the 1980s all the way into now. Just like I mentioned again, you had that incident that took place, that aerospace area business over there, where you had loud explosions, and then you had a armed gunman, enter the place, killed like 5 people, and injured dozens injuries. Because I believe that's most likely a retaliation from Turkey did towards those YPG and PKK. Most likely, they probably claim responsibility for that attack that occurred over there in the area in Turkey. It says the PKK, Turkey hits the PKK targets in northern Iraq and Syria after deadly attacks in Ankara. It says American British strikes Houdeya, Yemen's Houthi-aligned media says. It says U.S. says evidence shows North Korea has troops in Russia, possible for Ukraine war. Yep, and it goes into that Joel 3 verse 9 that I just bring out. Because you've been having the rising tensions been heating up between North Korea and South Korea. And I believe South Korea recently sent that warning to North Korea for warning them for sending troops over there to assist Russia. And then I believe South Korea has warned North Korea that they're gonna aid potentially Ukraine while the Russia-Ukraine situation is heating up. And we definitely been seeing the alliance been building up between North Korea and Russia as well too, right along with Iran and Russia and China and North Korea as well too. It says Hezbollah